Holy shit. I mean, I'd be furious if I was Murphy. I would be pissed. He's handling it better than I think I would. Right. Y'all good?
Yeah.
Oh shit. You look like sound like you're having a panic attack or something.
Oh,
So, you know,
most days,
they're having a gossip call now with
May I ask, does it have to do with the bench trial shit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I just got done talking to Turner. And look, I'm just gonna give you my TLDR real quick. Bench trials I don't think should last long, but the root cause is that these dumb fucks keep splitting 95s instead of figuring out what the collective charges are and then making a decision from that as to whether it goes to bench or not. They're letting these fucking bank truck Andes speed run everything, and then when someone gets left with the bag and has to get a bench trial, they're like, oh my God, we don't have everything. Well, no fucking shit you don't, because nobody knows how to do their job properly, right? So,
and some of the things we're saying is, you know, if the cops say they need half an hour before to get all this shit together, we're fine with that.
Yes.
Like,
have you heard anything new? Because I had a good conversation with Turner just now, and I was pretty blunt.
High command on Friday. And you know, all of us haven't been around over the weekend, so this is like me catching them up.
Oh, good. Okay, I thought something new popped up.
No.
I think this is a very important topic. I'm gonna go as far as saying is that let me shoot straight. There's a lot of things. We have a lot of kids, new kids, PD everywhere, right? Simple things like bench trials. We may have an idea what they're supposed to be, but we, for the longest time, are running off of, we need to start writing shit down. What is a bench trial? What does it entail?
I'm doing
and beautiful. Yeah.
I've already got bench trials almost done.
A lot of what used to work was because people in those places were 3-4 year veterans. You know what I mean? So you always went to a vet. That shit don't really exist no more. And on top of that, you got a bunch of, like I said, bank truck Andes running around crying whenever they can't, don't get a dub in court.
One of the questions to us was, can we make bench trials a preponderance of evidence?
No, fuck no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
never
mind
get a bench trial where everything didn't stick at that point.
I could imagine at a certain point something like preponderance of evidence would work. Look, I would
just be a probable cause here at that point.
Well, there is I practiced law in a different state a while back, and they used preponderance of evidence. However, they also used the entire California law, that could be referenced. So in other words, it worked because shit could get hyper complex. Our shit ain't that complex, right? So it doesn't make any sense to use.
It sounds like most of the complaints, like specifically from this week, right? The major issue is this their inability to understand there's a bench trial going on, stop adding evidence to a report. If they're not willing to cope with that level of complexity, we've got problems, right? They're not ready for anything more complex than that.
Yeah, I think it's best to handle this rationally from defining a bench trial. What should they look like? All that stuff is in your hands, right? Ultimately, if you guys wanted bench trials to literally be 8 hours every time, it's all in. Technically, it's all in your. It's all in your fucking. This is your power right here. Right?
Yeah.
It's the judicial process is all yours, Hell, you could define donkey court if you wanted to, where if you wanted the defense and the prosecution to self-acknowledge themselves as donkeys and it was an SPS court case, that's fine as well. That's within your powers, right? Maybe that's what some of these people want. I'm not even kidding. Like maybe if two people come in, declare a fucking donkey court, just, and whatever goes, I don't know.
I want to I want 2-hour bench trials. I want open court where if shit didn't get dealt with yesterday, we can deal with it today if everyone's around. I want quicker processing, right? Quick. And it just feels like people are just dragging their heels on shit. That's driving me nuts.
It is. Yeah.
Where's everybody at? Isn't this supposed to be like
I would love to. I'd love to chat more on this. Maybe after this meeting or whatever.
You got no princess today.
I texted her right now.
Oh, easy. All right, beautiful. All right, I'm gonna get a seat and try to.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, this is the conclave, right? Nino?
Conclave. What is it?
To vote the new pope in. That's where we're meeting. It's like a little convention they have.
Oh, right. He got voted in recently, didn't he?
Yeah, my vote's
Yep.
Grayson. Harry and I are, putting in our votes.
Oh shit. Actually, this last pope wasn't he like picked very quick?
Yeah.
Like the
2 days.
last one, didn't it take like a week or 2 weeks or some shit?
That's
like
right.
It took a couple weeks, yeah. But this one took only a couple
that?
days.
Jesus.
Falcon is just going to grab Gates.
Oh boy.
Drag her by her ear to get her into a meeting.
Oh my
Mhm.
god. I got some fresh coffee coming. I need that.
How's everybody doing? How's your weekend been? How are you doing, Quantum?
I'm doing amazing.
Junior, how are you?
Busy bee at the minute, mate, but you know, when aren't I?
Miss Leonin, how's life?
Pretty good. Can't complain.
Mm-mm.
How are you doing, Grayson?
I was about to say, most importantly, Grayson, how are you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, am I most important? Perry is here.
Wait,
I'm
what?
doing okay.
Very
I'm
true.
alive.
Very true. Grayson, that shirt and tie makes you look really like older, not like a vibe.
Some days I wake up feeling older.
I guess Princess is not coming, so I guess I'm repping Blaine County.
Did she confirm that? Oh wait.
Hold on.
Every day I wake up and feel older. Bro, I got a good workout this morning. Fucking tugging that fucking I'm so sorry. Bro, that was such a good stretch. Fuck me.
Those bootleg trainers, they don't look like real.
I'm sorry. Damn. Oh. Bro,
What are you doing?
I fucking stretched. I want to make some kind of
Oh.
noise. I don't know what the yeah. Oh fuck. It was a stretch, man. Oh. That was like me trying to make a small noise to stretching, and it just like that coming out. Holy fuck, that was a insanely good stretch. Holy fuck. Don't pull a muscle, Grabs.
Do you mind to sign in, by the way, Signy? Get the hang of that?
What was that? Yeah.
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 Oh, good shit.
Thank you.
Woo! All right. Oh, yeah, we're doing Brian after this. I'm excited for that.
Hey, is this being catered? I'm a little hungry.
There's some food right
There's
next
some
to me.
food over here.
Also,
Oh,
there's
no.
food right next to Grayson.
Oh my god, he's hoarding it all for himself. You know that? Thank you.
Actually, Michael Rosell provided this food.
Really?
Mhm.
Wait, is Michael around?
Man's
Okay.
not even at the
He was
meeting, he's
earlier.
providing food.
I think he's deserved some time to himself. Man, him spent
Yeah.
fucking 2.5 hours knocking out the penal code. So
I believe he's dealing with his little gremlins.
Mm.
Helios.
I was just going to go with Nino's cabinet.
Yes.
I was gonna say,
Oh,
he
I was gonna
knew,
say
he
they're in
knew-
the room.
Also, he
What are
knew
you-
that
what are you trying
Junior
to
was
say
going to be
here?
here today. He knew Junior was going to be here
Junior
today. So he
is
was like,
one
nah,
of
I'm
them, to
going.
be honest.
Yeah. Wow. Thanks, guys. Yeah. Appreciate it.
We all care for you, Junior.
You know, one day I'm gonna be gone, guys. And you're gonna go, damn, I miss that Junior guy. Think of
I
all the
won't
great stuff
say
he
that.
did.
Junior who?
Damn.
Oh shit!
Junior Diaz, to be honest. That guy's the far superior Junior.
I mean, the first step is acceptance.
Y'all are cooking this guy for existing. You know that,
I
right?
don't
No, he
For
does
all-
it to himself, Sean.
know. Yeah, I do.
You don't got to let them bully you, Junior. All right, you tell them
Mhm.
how important you are, how many businesses you've kicked off.
Mhm.
The-
Mm.
But Nino, I'm not gonna flex on them like that, you
Ju-
know?
Nino, Junior, you know, we do it so he toughens, you know.
Yeah,
Toughens
so
them
we
up.
toughen you up. Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, Sean can't speak for himself because he has lost 3 times in mutual combat. But
Wait, that's embarrassing. I didn't know that.
You know, it's
Nah,
embarrassing not having a record, Quentin. So I don't want to hear
Okay, you know what?
that's
Being a coward that doesn't wanna get
crazy.
a record.
That's great.
you.
Listen,
At least I put myself out there and die on
I'm
my
proud of you,
shield.
Sean. I'm proud of you for dying on that.
and again, you lost to me. That is saying something.
Listen, I got my lick back on Bell. You're gonna get it.
Oh my God,
The
Sean's so
challenge.
competitive.
It will be. I'm in the lab right now.
Again,
Yeah.
I'm
it's
training
called-
for it.
It's called
I wish
again.
people would get banned from Twitter.
Even
This
Grayson
isn't your.
got a hit on me,
Are you Winter
and you
Soldier?
still lost.
True, I did more damage than you did.
That's not true. That's a false conflation of the situation. Listen, I was going off of no prep, fighting over a Yorkshire pudding. My heart wasn't in it.
Because Yorkshire puddings are amazing.
Yeah, amazing.
How is a Yorkshire pudding good? Why is it called a pudding chat
He
when it's like
insulted
a
Yorkshire pudding,
crumpet?
so that's why I did mutual
You did
combat
what?
against him. Yep.
I don't know what's worse, insulting them or Welsh cakes. Welsh cakes are elite.
Wait,
I think
what are
that's
Welsh
impeachable, to be
cakes?
fair.
What? Are you serious? Grayson, please tell me you've tried Welsh cakes.
Of course I have.
Yes.
Quantum, you
Did
haven't.
you say Bosch cakes?
Oh, sorry.
Welsh cakes.
I don't like Welsh things.
So you don't like
Wait,
me.
what is
Thanks, Sean.
what is that?
It's like
Yeah, explain.
it's a bit like a scone, but it's like really soft.
It's
It
like
looks
a
like it
it's
looks
like
like
an incorrectly made scone.
it's like a
But
it's like a
it's so
squished
good.
scone.
It's so good.
It actually does look nice.
You
I'm
know,
not
these
gonna
people
lie.
eat potatoes with baked beans on them. You can't see them.
Oh
I
my
hate
God.
baked beans.
You hate baked beans because your people don't know how to make them.
No, I just don't
Mm.
like.
Your
I
people.
don't like baked beans.
Your people like
No,
that. She's the
you've never had
queen of
good baked
England,
beans.
bro.
Is the problem.
It's where I
You've
said I
had-
don't like tomato.
What?
God damn it! I said tomato.
Yeah, no, it's tomato. You got it. Soccer,
damn it.
tomato.
Like,
No,
No,
it's
you're
not.
going
baked
you're going
beans in
too
the
far
States are
now.
a totally different thing. It's
Yeah.
inherent. It's just very, very different. Lots of brown sugar and bacon bits.
Princess is on her way up. Right now.
Sounds good. Listen, you wouldn't be talking about this Yorkshire pudding, which isn't even pudding, if you had like real.
It is
food.
pudding. You just
It
don't
is.
understand the definition of the term pudding.
Okay, you guys call fucking
Yeah,
what
but-
is that? The
What language
the
are you
black
speaking right
pudding?
now, Danielson? What
hey,
language
hey,
are
hey!
you speaking?
Let's not go there. Listen, it might have been your language, but that's our language now, motherfucker.
Mhm.
Ain't
Me
nobody said
and you are not
American.
speaking the same language. Actually, we are. We are speaking
Is
American.
that, yo, that,
I like
start
egg pudding.
speaking well.
I
in a
would
little
debate
plastic
that I'm
cup.
speaking California.
that our shit now, bro.
What a dash, am I?
Wait, no, but what is a pudding to like in Ukrainian?
You
know?
Canadian?
Yeah, British.
Because like pudding is
A
like
British
a
person.
little
You
cup of
mean?
pudding
That
you
one
buy from
broke
the
me,
store.
Nino. That one broke me.
What is it like?
Tell you what, Nino, I
yeah.
can tell you've had a few days at a time.
Oh Jesus.
It's like it's like a dessert.
Oh yeah, but like, okay, so a pudding in the United States is like tends to be like a, oh fuck, what the hell would we call it?
Like a
Like a custard, yeah,
Yeah.
like a sweet goop, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
like,
mean,
what's a pudding?
But you guys call
like
a
a British
stone
pudding.
pudding. Just,
No, I would I
Pudding
wouldn't
is
call a
just
scone a
a
pudding.
yeah, it's just a synonym for dessert. To be real, it's just it's
Oh,
like
so you guys-
the sweet course
Oh.
after.
so you guys
after-
can't use
Yeah,
the language
it's-
that you created. Got it. Makes sense.
It's a cooked sweet dish. So it's something that's sweet.
So it's a
That's
dessert.
basically no, it's not a dessert.
Oh,
You
Can
wouldn't
be a
consider
dessert,
a
because-
pudding a dessert.
The Yorkshire pudding
very
is
confusing.
sweet, but
It's a
it's, to
dessert.
be mixed. It's because it has to be mixed with like the savory like roast dinner.
Okay, a Yorkshire pudding,
But
right?
it's still
is
a dessert.
basically it's a
If I have a
pancake
donut with
batter.
my steak,
It's
it
a
doesn't
pan-
make it a.
it's basically pancake batter, right? So
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
pancake batter that they then gets cooked in like beef tallow, right? So you generally melt some beef tallow in an oven, get it real fucking hot, put the pancake batter in there, put it back in the oven, and let it rise, and it just bubbles up,
Mm-hmm,
right? And then it's served with like roast beef and gravy generally.
Genuine question, guys. Do you reckon anyone thinks I really wonder what goes on in the DOJ meetings?
Oh, listen, hey, a lot better stuff happens here nowadays than it did a while back.
you
I'll tell you
make
that
a
much.
good point.
This week we're fighting about Yorkshire puddings.
I think Gates is having technical issues. That's why it's taking so long.
It's all good. Oh
I think she
man.
gets having a smart lock on her apartment.
Hi, Tony, by
Oh
the way.
shit.
Key and lock.
Hello.
It's too bad.
Let
Hey,
me
buddy.
see.
How have you been, bro? You good?
Oh,
Just week and craziness, Mother's Day and all that stuff.
I can't
I mean,
wait.
yeah, bro.
I enjoy these. Oh my god. How was entering all those things? Not that bad. Too bad.
The charges?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, well, I hope that you sleep.
Is that what you're talking
well.
about?
Absolutely.
Mm.
Thank you.
Tomorrow.
Go to sleep already, Quantum?
Yeah, I came here to take notes if she didn't show up.
Oh,
Basically,
shit.
I
Alright. Easy.
I got some nightmares.
All right. Take care.
See ya.
Take it easy.
Good riddance.
Bye, Q.
Good riddance.
That's crazy.
Oh,
I think he heard you.
Yeah, I think you did. I love him, really.
He probably said it loud enough so he could hear him.
Oh my
No.
god.
Definitely a yes.
Yes. I fuck with hot dogs. Yeah, Tror exposes. What is this? Yeah, so who the fuck
Grayson,
is?
in other pressing matters,
Terrore?
are Newcastle going to finish second?
I want to watch something on
I
that.
would love to
Maybe
find out.
tomorrow
If
or
we turn
tonight,
over
Chad.
Arsenal,
I'm
there's
like,
no
'cause
way
his
we
face
know,
is
right? 'Cause
popping
we're
all
eating
over my
everything,
shit.
So
I'm like, who the fuck
It's just
is
that
this
one game.
motherfucker?
Eh,
I would love to finish second because nobody thought we were going to finish in the top 8. Like, it would be amazing.
What is this, like Premier League or some shit?
yeah.
It is Premier League. Oh, all right.
Yeah. Do you know what happened to my club, Grayson?
What happened to your club?
Got relegated to League One.
It's, yeah. I hate relegations. The only good thing about relegations is generally the next season you win everything.
Yeah, well, be surprised at Cardiff, mate. We are very bad.
Oh, is it one of those things where you might go down again straight away?
Honestly, the state the club's in, like, it's just funny, bro.
Honestly, I think that's one thing that American sport could do with relegations and promotions. I think it would make things hilarious.
You mean like, you mean as opposed to like static teams like that we got right now?
I think, like,
Yeah.
imagine if, like, I don't know, the Chicago Bears were so dog shit next year that they just went down a league and had to play lower table teams and some other team got to come up. Yeah, it'd be great. It'd be amazing.
It's probably
hilarious.
I think it's because of all the like way that ad money or like the way that corporations own these things. You know what I mean? They probably don't want to take that risk. I only recently learned about like promotions and the demotions, and that shit's fucking interesting. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, I think like a lot of American like franchises, they're built around decades long growing strategies, right? They'll sometimes like trade away, like ballot picks from like 5 years in the future and stuff, right? Because they're building like over a long period of time. No relegations allow you to do that. Like if every single year you couldn't be the worst team in the NFL or the NBA, otherwise you'd go the fuck down. There'd be none of that. Every year would matter. No throwaway years.
Excuse me. Well, shit. I'm gonna think about grabbing some coffee right over here, and then should be right over here. I'll be right back.
Head troubles.
Nah. Grab it.
By the way, hi,
Get a
Princess.
refresher, boys.
How are you?
Doing all right. How's
Always
everyone
good to hear.
doing?
Oh, I'm great. I'm just tired of looking at MDT.
Yay.
Am I
Everyone
losing it
talking
or was
about
Quentin in
sports
here?
so much now.
He left. He did.
I can't lie.
Yeah,
I
Quentin was just here to take notes for me, but I'm here.
Sean, can I talk to you about some scrap stuff in a bit? I don't know whether it's worth bringing up here or later on. Just
Yeah,
me
if
and
you want to.
Be good to get everyone's opinion on it, but it's kind of like a.
You can just bring it up right now.
Okay. The current pricing system, I don't think really works. So for
I
example,
talked to Princess about that.
oh, there you go.
Yeah, it's a
Princess?
blink anything.
It is, but I have no idea who decided it or who manages it.
Andy.
Andy Jones did it.
bro.
Yeah.
Issue with it is, Princess, for example, if someone was to get 3 bouquets of flowers and then they wanted to get the same bouquets of flowers, they'd be charged the same amount they were if they were to get 3 of them, if that makes any sense.
That sounds like a construction issue.
What? Wait, I'm confused. Hold on.
So
It definitely is a construction issue. I know what he's talking about.
So you can buy previous things that you've made through scraps, but the price for the
right.
single item is set
Whatever
at the
the-
price
oh, okay,
you
okay.
paid. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll be honest, I've been charging people like very little purely because, you know, I can't have them paying like thousands of dollars just for like a small piece of paper or whatever, right? Like,
Yeah.
it just doesn't make no sense if I want to get it again.
Mhm.
So
Well, that makes sense.
I don't know the best. Maybe it's a way of doing it. You either let people just buy one and then they can get more from the till after.
Yeah, that probably seems like the best option. Like you have to put the item into scraps, get it approved, and then
Get
you
a
can buy as
muffin?
many as
No,
you want.
straight
but
espresso.
The one is the one that needs to get
Hey,
approved.
we're on
You
workout
don't
mode.
need to get
Coffee.
You know, it's not like you need to look through all 3 bouquets.
Healthy
To make sure
eats.
none of them have
Next 3
like,
months.
weird stuff in them.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably a quick fix for the scraps guidelines. So do you want me to look into that view, or should I just let Quantum know and he could probably do it? It's up to you.
Wait, what do you want me to do or him to do?
Well, it's a Blaine County thing, right? So if you want, I can do it. It could be like a quick, like it won't take long. It's like a 5-minute job, so I can just bang it out quickly if you need me to.
But, I mean, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'll just message you the thingy when I've changed it. Okay.
Yeah. And bypass Quentin on that so you don't have to talk to him.
I think
Brilliant.
it's on the magistrates.
All right. So
You have a decision to make right now on how we want to do this.
when does it start? I don't know. I'm kind of waiting. I need my caffeine, so
They'll say they need an L. Are they going to bring Flippy to the court?
Next question is he willing to wait an hour?
Let's see.
So, when did we want to get started?
Are we good?
Yeah.
I think we're good.
All right.
Skates is
Yeah.
She's only downstairs. If she does come, then she won't be. Well, we can start with her.
All right. Oh, fuck.
All right.
Penal code's reverted. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank God. I don't have to open this. Yep. Penal code got reverted.
Yep. Again, thank you for fixing that as well in a quick manner, Sean. That one piece of penal code that needed to be fixed.
Yeah. It was. I think it was just. It got glossed over.
Yeah, no, that's all good.
All
That's why we
right.
did a once over afterwards as well to make sure that we're like everything that's covered by legislation is still as it should be.
Okay. Awesome. There are probably going to be like a number of penal code charges that probably need some sensible changes. I don't know what those would be, but there's probably some patchy ones here and there that may be worth us tackling at some stage. I know in regards to, we're about done wrapping up with the criminal code stuff. I think most of it's been posted out. I think there's like 3 other documents outstanding. But we've sort of began the process on our end to start to identify particular penal code descriptions and whatnot that probably need further elaboration, and we're probably going to start pushing some of those forward just as a form of here's how this could look like in the legislation and on that penal code tab.
There's a couple of fairly onerous ones I think that are worth pointing out. I think criminally negligent ownership of a firearm, and I think the FAFO charge both previously had underwritten legislation that now is no longer there.
Oh,
so I think both of those charges are problematic because they have legislation now missing that, elucidated their point and purpose. I think we've also moved beyond the scope of criminally negligent ownership of a firearm as a society.
I agree.
So I think, just repealing those might be in the best interest of the citizenry. Hi, Gates.
Hi, Gates. Sorry, I'll give you your receipt.
What is FAFO?
The
federal.
That was
Oh, yeah.
originally
Federal
I
offenses.
think it was made during the Council of 8 Days.
Yeah.
Federal authority felony offenses. It's like an add-on charge for things that take part inside a government building.
I agree. I think this one where we probably highlight out specifically what that means, because guess what? This doesn't apply anywhere.
Yeah, it's also something that needs doing. is
Federal, yeah.
getting stuff back.
Because
Name
now
one federal
the
building.
terminology we use is state, right? We wouldn't call
Yeah.
it federal. Yeah, it's yeah.
I will say I love the idea of enhancement charges in general. Specifically in the sense that you could have a offense take place, but due to aggravating reasons, there may need to be a higher fine and time, and maybe a mechanism similar to this is that move, right?
Oh, I totally agree. I think there are specific charges that are so lowly scaled that when you look subjectively at things, it doesn't make sense, right? Like certain fraud is disgusting. It can be like detrimental to the whole state, but it's such a low charge. But if we had a top-up charge attached to it, it could make way more sense.
Yeah, maybe one that's kind of like a capital, right? So I don't like that the red is just, if we consider red charges not necessarily capital, and if there was a enhanced fraud, and it would be something that you might request as a part of a fraud case, right? Where that enhanced fraud was in the event you were doing it against the government, or the fraud amount exceeded like $250,000, whatever the tick marks might be. It starts to add more value, especially for law enforcement to start investigating things that have more meaning. Because, I mean, if I read this correctly, like technically you fucking yoink it, fucking assload of money. What are you getting? $530 and have to give the money back? People are going to commit fraud all day.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm taking $10 million and putting it in my pocket right after this.
All right, calm down, Kyle.
No, Fred did 14.
Yeah, he did.
How much was the jetpack?
11.
11. Yeah.
Yeah, all right, that doesn't count.
How's that jetpack treating you, Tony?
Oh, he took it back about 5 days after it's been at my house.
Oh yeah, Tony's been talking about it since.
No, I haven't.
Okay, we probably about once.
Maybe.
Okay.
I think Nino, what you're describing, it could be done similar to weapons trafficking, where
just zero it.
Yeah, you 0 it, and then the PD request it like a financial amount.
Oh.
Because then it just makes it judicial discretion, which means it has to go to court, right?
That is fire.
So it's still a felony, but it's not a capital, so there's not the possibility of life in prison or death, but it's still something that needs to go to court and something that could it could be appropriately fined.
Would you all be open to the idea as that we define what charges are held until trial? Is it capital?
There are no huts anymore.
Now they're just heinous exceptions, right? So.
Oh, right, because you get immediate bail type shit. Yeah. But isn't it technically still a hut, like the remedy case? Like
if you break your bail, yeah.
Yeah, like it's that.
If you break bail, you're on hut.
Yeah.
It's the heinous act guidelines or something legislatively. That's what lays it out. And then we've tiered them in the expungement guidelines because some of them are now open and applicable for a one-time only expungement.
Also, and the reason perjury is red is because that's the only way to make something unexpungible. Like when we click the button, if it's red, it doesn't get taken away.
Oh.
Yeah.
So weapons trafficking is HAG, right?
No. So weapons trafficking
That's
is
catch
a felony,
and release.
So yellow 0-0s are catch and release, and red 0-0s are HAGs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay. To that point, actually, one of the charges I want to tackle is weapon trafficking. Or no, sorry, weapons manufacturing. That is the most cooked. Okay,
I
maybe
hate
it's
the
not the
wording on
most.
that. Yeah, the wording's
it's-
not great though. And serial assaults and killings really needs looking at too. Like,
yes, that one is on our list as well. I want to see SAC go back to serial killers. I want it to go back for historical reasons. And that, oh my god, my brain hurts. And
I feel like
there being something else for someone who is found to have done many
we have
murders
the
and
targeted
others.
violences, right? Which is kind of the equivalent now.
I don't think that's true, because
I don't think it works the way it was wanted to work, but I think that's what the intention was, right?
targeted violence was, I'm going to read my encyclopedia of some great detective back in the day. Apparently there was a gang not run by not Ray Romanoff and not Rust, who were actively targeting a group over and over again, which resulted in the Rust Act. And I believe the targeted violence was, if someone's, I think what was happening, if I remember correctly, is that they're going after the same clan people. Oh, yeah, that's exactly
going
it.
after Eustace
Yes.
Yeah. So then
over and over and over again.
Yep, that's the one.
That.
So I believe that's what this was.
Which I mean, like I was a member of the judiciary then. I was a member. So there was also way further back. There was a specific time when specific organized crime families were engaged and targeting, mechanic shops. You may remember Quick Fix, and like this.
That was me.
It's amazing. It's amazing how these things all add up.
Those fucking guys used to sit on the roof all day.
Oh yeah, on the roofs of Quick Fix with AKs. I remember.
To be fair, when you work at a mechanic shop, there isn't shit to do but sit on a fucking roof.
No, with AKs and shit. It was because the Vagos was the whole thing. The guy Raj used to have this like black book, and he wrote all his shit in it. So if he died, the black book would fall in the hands of like the police department.
Nefarious.
And so like people learned about this, so the Vagos kept shooting up the place. So they just used to sit on the roofs in case the Vagos came through. So people started dressing up civilians in yellow and like driving up for a repair. And then they'd get shot up. So the cops would come in and like, oh my Lord. Oh, fuck me. To that point though, what are you thinking, Grayson? Like that one should be extended, or should there be another charge? Because
I'm going to be real. I can't remember the last time anybody pushed targeted violence. I don't know if it's fit for purpose if no one uses it.
I think PD's just being lazy.
Yeah. So speaking from someone who was a victim of targeted violence in the first degree last year, it was always a problem of you get the wrong officer and they don't want to like tie it to the other reports, and then I talked to the officer who's like heading up the case, and they're like, oh, well, like they didn't even say it was you or anything, and there's no proof that it was the same group or anything. Like they don't try. You call the cops, and then they take like a bullshit report that doesn't really have any good details in it, and then like they can't really use it toward the targeted violence.
But yet, when I don't find people guilty of shit because they don't do the paperwork, they want to get pissed off at me.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of the same issue that everybody has with serial assaults and killings, right? Because if they don't push attempted murder, generally it never goes that way. So like, if they push torture but not attempted murder, or they push assault with a deadly instead of attempted murder, you're fucked, right? Like, it just never goes anywhere.
I don't even think we need this third charge anyways. I'm gonna make a stance here, right? And I don't expect everyone to buy into it. Lang Buddha was not a sack killer. Neither was Edgar. At least
I agree. They don't pass a sniff test.
Exactly. And I think part of that is just the unfortunate, perhaps, way that the definition was carried over. And I think previously there was an expanded one, but specifically what I think may not have been transferred over properly was the third clause that reads, sharing common characteristics such as to suggest the reasonable possibility that the crimes were committed by the same actors or actors may be subject to. If I'm not mistaken, that last clause used to more emphasize that there was a common motive.
Didn't we use terminology like a pathology or something? Like something that hinted at like an underlying pathology of serial killing.
Yes,
right? Like,
exactly.
And I just think that got lost in translation somewhere along the way.
Yeah.
An example
it's
I've heard was a cassette killer or something like that.
What do you mean? It's
I
just
remember
57 assaults with a deadly because she called EMS every time she serial assaulted and killed someone. What do you mean,
Doors.
Grayson?
Yep. Oh, you know,
The last
the
great serial
butterfly
killer the
killer.
city ever had, and I stand on that. No one has done it right since the Los Santos artist.
Wait, who is that? What do you make pictures of his?
Doors.
Oh,
she made pictures of them all right.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's a not that I condone it, but if you're gonna do it, holy fuck, that's the way to do it type shit. You know what I mean?
You know, pestilence might be sack.
Hasn't killed anyone.
2 weeks ago.
Okay, well that's not 3.
That depends on if you think the shotgun or the BFV killed that person in the court case, babe.
Mm.
That's
The
still
Black Vein Fever killed her, but only because she was wounded by a shotgun blast.
Right, but that's one person.
No, sack only needs one death.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. That's
Yeah.
great. Lovely.
Ooh, what it generally needs, serial assaults and killings, the way it's written right now, is 3 times attempted murder in the first degree. Which always leads to issues because then officers want to use it against them, but they get charged with attempted murder of a government employee, not with in the first degree, which is specifically legislated that way. It's a shit show.
Yeah.
It isn't written well.
No,
judicial
my
interpretation
bestie.
of it is always a problem.
Pesty the bestie. Oh man.
I don't think a rewrite's out of the question on that one, to be real.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I mean that goes back to the benefit of this being able to expand in the the legislative document. I would imagine, so just kind of as an idea, but obviously this could be lined up better once we push it to City Hall. But like this entire thing could be reduced to half of what it says today, to just something simplified, and then just reference rep or like ledge number 2653 and then like 3.A.2 or something like that, and then have that more extensive legal definition as to what is SAC.
I think specifically when you're dealing with capital level crimes that could come with a death penalty, a little bit more wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Shit.
If you assemble a party to work on that, Nino, and you want somebody to give them context as to why and how it's changed throughout the years, I'm more than willing to engage and help.
Absolutely. I think the plan is like each one of these things are going to be built out so that there is enough room to get enough like opinion from different sectors. I think DOJ, PD, etc. So that it makes sense for everyone when those things are pushed.
Those underlying, like serial assaults and killings, getting somebody like Pixie involved from the medical group probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Because I can't tell you how many of those people she's worked with over the years.
That's a good idea, actually. Okay. All right. Let me see. Harry, you've been working on collating some of your documents, right?
A lot.
Okay.
Dosage, I took Michael's feedback and I've fixed it up. I'm gonna send the new version to Michael. Along with also all the new, I say new, quote unquote, new charges / definitions, basically, for the drugs. specifically anyone that's underneath of dosage. So it's a little bit easier for PD.
Ooh.
There was one other thing I've been condensing in legislation, which was the Peacock legislation and I don't know which one it is. Oops. And I've made it into a new one called the Grim Act. I'm trying to remember what the abbreviation was for that. One moment.
Bro, I can't wait to play Night. That's why I'm like caffeinating the fuck out of myself.
I told it to one of you guys and I've forgotten what the bloody name is. Guidelines, Risk, Integrity, Malpractice Act. Which is basically a condensed version of those of Oops and Peacock together. So
Ooh, nice.
It will be all in one place. And then the bill that's going to go underneath that would be the unauthorized transaction of medical equipment, which is going to be rewritten. I apologize, Sean. I made you rewrite it earlier for the current one in legislation, and I've rewritten it again. We're currently working on that. I'm just finishing the last bits of fixes with that, which I'll also send that Michael's way as well. And your way as well, Nino, so you can have some comments on that as well.
Okay.
Because I want the mayor's comments and stuff, along with DOJ, if you guys want to comment on it too. Give me a second. Along with that, I was like you guys were talking about court rulings and stuff, and I have to bring this one up because Gates, your ruling on the Bell case.
Yes.
I was like, could you explain it to me so I can understand it?
He found out through a verbal confirmation. The legislation states that verbal confirmations are handled internally. So whoever leaked it verbally is the one who needs to be punished for it internally per the legislation. It's an I'm not gonna hold he was a dick about it, but he wasn't illegal about it.
I know you said that he was a jerk, and now all the police are going to be calling him jerks. By the way, I'm just saying.
Nice. Well, I think I want to say be a dick because Richard Dick, but then I was like,
that's fair. That's fair.
I don't know if anybody could read, but yeah, no, he technically didn't do. We have never ever held police up to the standard that when they post on a docket and go, this person attempted to murder the victim, that we then have to go, hey victim, is it okay if we talk about the fact that he tried to attempt to murder you? Just on the bare level of it. And also Alejandro didn't bother to do any type of investigation before putting it up on the docket. It was a terrible half case where at one point he called me and went, well, how am I supposed to know who told him? And I said, did you ask him? When I ruled that he couldn't depose him, and he goes, no. And I go, well, I would recommend starting there. And he goes, well, he's just going to lie. And I said, he's going to say, we can't tell you because it's an investigation. I said, did he say that, or did you just assume he'd say that? He goes, I assumed. And I said, well, if you don't ask him, how are you supposed to know?
And this is where I go, this is my next question.
Oh my God, bro.
If it is in a police report, is it word of mouth?
Wait.
I guess how did they get the police report? Like if they say, though, I pulled up on scene and they saw what clearly looked like Nathaniel Grayson face down on the ground.
So from what I was able to find this in 30 minutes talking to an officer because I wanted to find out the definition of this because it was from an entire scene, so an entire operation. And I talked about, and I know she wants people to be held accountable for like PIPA violations and stuff, but this is where that problem comes across. If we start holding people accountable for like the word of mouth stuff, like say an officer came in and asked us, have you seen did this person come in with these injuries? We're gonna go and we get that word of mouth thing removed. It's gonna be a thing of I can't tell you.
Oh yeah, I'm not trying to take that out. I'm saying that
the
proper recourse was for her to go to the marshals and make a complaint.
Yeah, and that's where that thing comes from. Is if it was a word of mouth thing in a police report that stated it.
I don't think we would have
to say. Yeah, because what's to say that the report doesn't get FOIA'd, and then it becomes public information if it gets posted to the docket anyway.
So
like every time an officer arrives on a
that's the thing
scene
I'm
with a
confused.
victim, they put down what they see on scene, whether or not they have a positive ID on the victim or not. It's still like, but at the same time, that's if I walk
That's
up,
the
if
thing
I
that's
walk
confusing.
up and you've been stabbed, and then I turn around and go, I watch you get stabbed, and I turn around and go, "Hey Grayson, Perry got stabbed." That's still technically medical record stuff, but it's word of mouth, right? You can't police people who see the witnesses to the scene.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So I'm more familiar with HIPAA. I transparently haven't really read the PIPA stuff. Just just haven't. Is PIPA more extensive than HIPAA in the sense that HIPAA tends to be that those that are in possession of private medical records, like doctors, et cetera, the onus is on them not to let that information out unauthorized, right? But it's strictly medical records. But if like an individual were to go outside or someone saw through like a, through a unauthorized screen, it wouldn't count. Is it kind of like that, or because
when I was in EMS, the only thing that kept you from sharing medical information was SOPs, right? It's an internal thing.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it's not legislative to do that. It's like by department. When I was a doctor, same thing. I don't know how you guys'
It's
are now.
it's basically the same thing.
Yeah. So it's
so
that part's more of an internal department thing than it is a legislative thing.
Yeah.
So what is PIPA giving? Because it says
PIPA is basically for say Tony wanted the medical records of whoever he is defending, he would have to get confirmation from them, and then basically like a FOIA in a way. It's basically, I say, Tony, do you want to explain it?
Oh no, I'm just saying it's basically just a legislative way to formalize the release the records, basically. Nothing more, right?
Oh wait, PIPA is in our legislation.
PIPA is.
It's from the council, yeah.
There's no signatures.
No, it got amended 2 days after the Constitution by heart. So
yeah,
I was just checking if it was actually even legal. But yeah.
Yeah.
Guys.
So it originally was done in the Council of 8 days. And then when the Constitution got rewrote, it got added in by at the time Justice Hart. So
that's crazy that Hart did that.
You might want to. That one's pretty old. You might want to.
That's crazy. That's
Perry,
that's crazy because I'm worried about taking that case. I was worried about taking that case.
It's when I go. That's the reason why I'm having to fix dosage right now.
Well, I will say I am. I was really worried about my deliberation because I am actively conflicted off of anything.
Oh no! You are fine. Your ruling, like I 100% agree with your ruling. Yeah. Like I'm not. I might sound like I'm being a bitch about this.
I'd be worried about the ruling.
No, yeah, I know.
Any kind of rework.
Oh yeah, I know. That's why I said like I am perfectly fine with what your ruling was. Like I understand it. Like right now, like I feel like the way that Belle wants it is she wants it to be more strict, but I can't have it more strict because right now it is in the most comfortable middle ground that doesn't fuck over the DOJ. Doesn't fuck over PD and make their lives a living hell.
Yeah.
And doesn't fuck over doctors, basically.
Yeah, what is
information.
What is the higher what is the ask, if I may ask? Because it makes sense what I'm hearing here, which is that, patients sign off on releasing medical information.
It's basically the word of mouth part.
So what happened was, in this case, was that Dark was standing around a circle of people at the marshal's office, and somebody said, Belle's in the ICU, she's got a disease. And he then turned around and used that information when Jaina did the state announcement to say, oh, here's the motive for that state announcement. Her wife is sick from this disease. And then Belle was suing on behalf of the fact that she was in the ICU and disease was like put out in the public record.
But who mentioned
He said he didn't recall.
I mean, yeah, this is too dangerous. I'm going to be honest.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like
shit moves so quick.
If we remove that word of mouth part, it's the thing of if we tell an emergency contact, hey, this happened to them, this happened to them. If they then tell somebody else, we can't stop that. Like, it's not our fault that information got out, but it's still going to come back and bite us in the ass. That's the thing. I'm like, right now, the middle, like, this is the most middle ground Pippa can be.
I agree.
Like,
yeah.
It cannot, like, I've talked to Doc, I talked to other officers, like, this is the most middle ground, right? And they've all agreed with me. Like, this is, like, we can't make it.
The
mean,
city moves way
even
too
if you
quick.
try to, like, the constitutionality check for a right to free speech and free thought would be real rough. I think constitutionally that's protected. If you get given information, you should be able to speak on it.
Yeah.
It also makes it difficult for officers to. So, I walk out these doors. I get attacked by, I don't know, Stumbles Fumbles because he's mad that I made a ruling against him the other day, right? I go into the ICU. Cops can't prosecute and do stuff based on like the fact that I was attacked without getting my sign off. That's an undue burden, and it slows things down in an already slow system. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not mad that someone's they know, hey, Liz Gates was face down on the ground, you know, and got stabbed and injured by this person. You know what I mean? So they could keep going, push it without having to have every victim sign off. When some of them,
it's also
I
a thing of like
primary ICU people.
Yeah, Lion doing
primary
Lion doing a line of coke, bro.
Can
that's
give, like,
savage.
The medical records if they request it, but they have to sign off on it, and a doctor has to be present when they do this, so that we know it's true and know it's okay and know that they are on that emergency contact list, because shit happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else we got to go over?
I'm sure.
So this whole thing about bench trials, I'm just gonna open it a little bit.
Okay.
I'm I got some wind of it from speaking to Turner and Peters. I think let's just say there's been a lot of recent topics, right? It's not even centered around the bench trial. There's obviously here is my perception of what's been going on in the last week and a half. In this last week and a half, last 2 weeks even, I think the legislative authorities have come to a much better position to enable this city's legislature or laws from methodically improving over time. We've been waiting for this moment. But simultaneously, some of those pressures, some of these changes that we're slowly putting in are agitating, in my opinion, a little bit too much members of law enforcement. And I don't know why that pressure is drastically increasing, whether it's this issue or whether it's the other number of 2-3 issues that came up last week. I'm going to be doing my best to make sure that, there's reasonable conversation and dialogue taking place, because I think there is a little too much heat for something that can be easily resolved. In the matter of bench trials, I do think that it would behoove all of us to have something in place that kind of defines what is a bench trial, what is a court case, even just like philosophically, right? Or even approximations on how long they land. I don't want to completely prescribe what it is, but I do think something like that in place is good, because everything that we have done up until now has been word of mouth. And there's not enough people that are in PD that even knows what the limitation of a bench trial even is. So I think getting that information out there is probably the best first step.
I agree. I think in the fullness of time, we've talked about the two major pieces of legislation that I think are problematic: search and seizure, and then due process, right? I think in the fullness of time, due process would involve and include all of that information, right? Because that's what due process should be, right? It should lay out your remedies through justice, right? How we get you a fair trial, as is your right. In the immediate, I know Marie's working on a document to like lay out some of these things. I have some of these things laid out in an internal document for the DOJ, for magistrates and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If we push that as just a report to PD and like made it accessible so they can see our internal thought process there, I don't think it's a bad idea. Like you should, a little little twist on the valve to release some pressure doesn't hurt every now and again.
I agree. True.
But in the fullness of time, I think it should go in due process.
Is that where bench trials are defined right now?
I think so.
Well, the reference to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a
think
really
that
good
legislation
idea.
needs more.
We also need to, just while I'm thinking about it, actually codify your right to not self-incriminate properly, because we have the Miranda rights, but we don't actually have it codified properly. Because we keep calling it the Fifth Amendment right, but we don't have a Fifth Amendment. We don't have amendments anymore. And then I fixed the bar question about the Fourth Amendment rights, because we don't have a Fourth Amendment. We have a search and seizure legislation.
Yeah.
The Fifth Amendment needs to be fixed also because, I've been threatened with being charged with obstruction of justice for not telling police something when I'm fairly certain that's literally like the first line in the Miranda rights.
Wait,
again, I think this
rid of
because
the Andy
it's
Jones
inherent.
Case law?
Most of the case law went.
God damn, that was good. That one covered exactly that.
So specifically, I think again, due process legislation is the kind of place where extra rights that are being prescribed to people to get a fair trial should be there, right? Like it should all be explained and explicit there, nothing implied, nothing inferred, explicitly written down and legislated and protected. Because a fair trial is kind of one of those big rights that you don't want to be infringed upon.
If I see Magistrate Knuckles question if someone has the right to not self-incriminate one more time, I'm gonna lose it.
So there's a difference, I'm pretty sure.
I was gonna say those are the two things that I'm like. I just want to make sure we've got. So the Fourth Amendment one was fixed, but the Fifth Amendment we need to, get that codified, so that way nobody tries to pull the. Well, technically, it's like actually, Arizona. Says my dick.
To that point,
which you should use next time, Princess, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Our common law within San Andreas, some of these are existing stuff we've pulled out of the United States. So Tennessee, Terry v. Ohio. We only snipped out the Terry frisk portion. It does not snip out reasonable suspicion. I'm gonna be a nerd right now. Where does our law currently establish reasonable suspicion?
I mean, it's not defined, right? It's not defined. Yeah. It's assumed to be common knowledge. The issue is we both know it is not common knowledge.
Yeah.
So, I don't hate the idea of definitions of what those are.
Yeah.
Definitions of reasonable suspicion, definitions of probable cause. Put them somewhere. Make sure people have access to them.
Actually, the word for fugitive isn't defined in the Constitution.
Oh, God.
What could I say?
Well,
imagine sitting through 2 hours of that.
Who said that?
Oh, my God.
That was the fucking harboring a fugitive ADMC case. I had to take off Sean because he got completed out by people who don't know how to keep their mouth shut.
Yeah, but which cop said that?
I don't remember. It was a fucking fever dream.
Oh my God.
I kind of pushed the whole thing out of my head because I hated every minute of it.
I think even beyond definitions, some of these like auxiliary things being defined out is not a bad idea. Like
no, I disagree. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Or at least to what's applicable.
Say again, Sean?
So just fleshing out the case law in its entirety, or at least what's applicable.
Either the case law or doing it ourselves. Like, I mean, what we got now is like good. So okay, so it depends, right? Like, I think having Terry Verso. Okay, I'm gonna say some mildly weird shit.
Okay.
Like, you guys are ready for that.
Have you met yourself anyway?
Hey. Our legal system used to be very much California based, like 15 years ago, let's say, during Labar's era and Coop's era. And, that was all a fun time, right? Except for motherfuckers like myself would literally just Google, like, of random ass fucking bullshit and then present like a 500-page document and be like, this is why they got to be let go. And no one's going to read that, right? So fast forward and now we're here, right? We have these summarized versions like Terry versus Ohio. That one line, unfortunately, means that because a lot of it's been cut out, there is no reasonable suspicion defined. There is no detainment under reasonable suspicion defined, right? So a lot of those like legal like expectations aren't fully in law, and they could end up differing from law enforcement to law enforcement, from judge to judge, right? In other words, it's left up to us to decide what that's supposed to look like. I think if we go down the route, Sean, like you said, like put more of it in here, the document's going to be way too big. Why even rely on Terry versus Ohio? Why? I'm not saying remove it, but we could just write our own shit. You know what I mean?
We could. I think the reality, every time I've tried this, right? Because I went through the process of telling all the attorneys, right? Like, if you want to establish case law, argue principle, right? I don't care what the other part of the United States legislation says. I don't care. I don't care what that case law was. Argue the core principles inside that, and we'll set our own standard. I tried this. It's not necessarily the lawyers who fight back against this, it's the police departments. The police departments have had those in their SLPs for a decade. And they don't like the standard changing from those.
I
that's
agree.
What they understand.
I agree with that, but I guess what I'm saying here is that we should not expand it. We should leave these as they are. But let's say we wanted to get into the realm of like, you know, what is a detainment? Like what is reasonable suspicion? We can define that stuff out without even touching any of the Terry versus Ohio stuff, because that would require full retraining of the police force, right? Which probably isn't a good thing.
Do either of you, as the mayors with your own, sheriff and chief, think that they would engage with that without a total meltdown?
Wait, engage with what?
Our own internal definitions of RSPC, what that means, and for their training going forward. Do you think they'd be willing?
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, Nolte would.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, if he doesn't want to, too bad.
Yeah. I think these guys want that stuff, to be honest.
Fantastic.
I think the common topics of concern for every party, it's ambiguity, right? People want to know when to charge, when it doesn't make sense, why someone's getting charged. I think the more information we put out there, the better. All right.
Still have to go get yelled at by Ventura about my ruling. I just remembered.
Wait, which one?
The Remedy Creed one. He's gonna argue that I already know what it is. He's gonna argue that the secondary, that when TRT did an opt to catch her off of the arrest warrant, I said was not, didn't have PC to arrest her because they basically hair ID'd her mostly. That the House of Cards would fall, and that there was no evidence in the secondary report that she was in fact parked illegally, and that there was a valid reason for the traffic stop, and that they then chased her from, and it overturned like 3 hot guns, and as a result that they found her with.
Well,
I'm not gonna be happy when I hit it with that's the ruling of this court. That's what I ruled based on the evidence at the time. That's what I ruled. I'm just not in the mood anymore.
Well,
it's one thing when Perry asks, like now, because it's like she's coming from hey, I run that department, I do that thing. Just want to see if we're the same thing. It's another thing when they're gonna argue with me, and I'm gonna be like, "Were you there?"
I wouldn't want to argue with you. It's more of a thing of I want to understand.
I don't know if you need to speak to Ventura since Opal put up a ChatGPT judicial appeal.
Yeah, she asked me how to do that, and I was like, "You just put on there."
Oh my God! All right. Well,
what are you in that, Tony?
The ChatGPT part.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. But yeah, that's hard lawyer standards. If you can't copy paste Coop's fucking thing and write it yourself, you shouldn't be a lawyer.
Wait. You're not joking about the ChatGPT?
I mean,
Did
it
you see
reads.
Carmine's post?
So there's Carmine's post, and then Opal's judicial
Wait,
appeal.
where?
No,
On the
I've
docket.
shut that down. I've shut down Carmine's.
Yeah,
I'm
but
pretty
regardless
sure
of,
if you ran that through a linguistics like thingy bomb, a computational thing, like it'll pick up the grammar like it's generated by AI.
Opal's judicial appeal, it like uses language that we don't use in the city, so she's either ChatGPT'd it or
Fiverr?
I understand in
Yeah.
Opal's case that she does have like one of her concerns with her warrants is she's ESL, but like to get a different cop to look it over. When I put out my announcement about stuff, I got Doc Masters look at it just to make sure it made sense to a third party.
I will
Costello.
say,
Costello.
I
Doc
don't
and her
think
were
we.
working on it when I was with them.
So it's Doc Masters' fault. Got it. I'm gonna put his little head in the toilet.
Costello's was so bad, he managed to tag some local without paperwork called Carmine Costello.
yeah, when
Like,
tagging
yeah,
himself on the docket, he
how?
did at Carmine Costello.
How did he do that?
Wait, a local?
know.
Wait, what do you mean?
I mean, that person doesn't even have paperwork.
Cause yeah, he didn't. It wasn't him. That's not his email.
That person was last seen her in fucking 7 years ago.
Oh, the good days.
I mean, that's 7 actual years ago, not weird years.
Oh.
Wait, I'm so
Federals
confused.
removed my emoji list.
You don't think there's a lot of stuff coming through with ChatGPT, right? Because that's very dangerous.
Hate it.
Which
Hate that
is,
stuff.
well, look, here's the reality. If it hits the docket, we're the ones who have to assess it. And if it looks really fucking, then
Yeah.
conversations with people about their bar licenses need to be had.
Yeah, like
I don't care if you use it as a learning tool. I don't care. As long as you
Yeah.
proofread that shit and figure out if it's like actually
That
bugged
I agree
anyway
with.
before it hits me. That's
Yeah,
all I care about.
I feel like sometimes people write so badly that it's like, honestly, I would rather chat GPT over some of the
I
things
don't.
that people
I'd
write
like
on
there to be rainforest for my children, so I'd rather nobody use ChatGPT.
Oh, you know, I don't like it, but I also think people are bad at writing.
Yeah, but then don't be a lawyer. Question mark?
Just proofread
Better
it.
and
Just
I'm hella
proofread
fucking
it.
dyslexic, and I could copy paste coop shit and get it up there. You know.
Yeah, for me the main concern is like using AI as a tool, no problem. I fuck with that shit all day. But if it's a replacement for your own thoughts is where my concern comes in, right? Where if you're inputting stuff in and it's producing a report or a statement that you're like effectively backing, and now all of a sudden it's saying something you never intended it to mean. That's where I'm my worry kicks in.
Oh yeah, that's my issue with it. Like specifically, like not specifically on the docket, but if you consider in search warrants and subpoenas, if it slides to that regard, those things are signed documentation, sworn oaths made to the court. If you don't mean every word in there, you could get in some serious legal trouble.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Where's Carmine's on this?
Been closed.
It's
It got closed today.
Yeah.
He was suing Mr. K.
Oh my god, somebody's trying to anonymously become the chicken expert witness. I might just say yes for the fuck of it.
So I had a pre-trial
I don't
with
even
him
know
and
who
Murphy.
the expert chicken witness is. I don't even know who it is. It's sealed from me even. I don't know about
Is it
that.
Helen Highwater? Because she's a chicken expert.
She can't
No,
be the chicken
she's
expert. She's
the
pushing charges.
prosecutor. Yeah.
Oh, is she prosecuting the chickens?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, that's what this is about. Okay, cool. That's exciting.
Oh, it's
Been waiting for
Helen
that.
who sent me the email. Oh, I don't fucking know people's names. Okay, I can't even find Nino on the first try because I forget the first word every time.
Chicken expert doesn't mean chicken man, right?
I don't know. He just says redacted. I'll find out.
Uh-oh.
The chicken man's not real and he can't hurt me.
I saw him. He likes to stand on top of my castle.
I've seen Mr. Bones, but he has never hurt me. You know, if I just keep maintaining that they're not real and they can't hurt me, we're good.
Like, the chicken man is not like some crazy thing. He's just like a guy who's really weird.
Oh, freak behavior.
Yeah.
The old courthouse used to have a million fucking little statues of that dude everywhere.
So weird.
Jesus. All right.
Me all good?
Is he a chicken?
Anything?
Also, for reference, I have once again asked for you to have tags. And once again, there's been, to be fair, that's not the only place we're getting a donut wall from. I think bro's busy.
It's fine. One day. One day.
Okay. Well, anything else we want to discuss today? This is
so confusing.
I think I went over most of mine.
DLC pay.
Oh yeah.
You wanna go?
No. I mean, I you can do. As I think I got all mine.
Okay.
What's going on with DLC?
Where they get paid.
So currently, Blaine County pays DOC like $600 an hour because we can't afford to pay more, and it's also like we're paying out of pocket currently, so it's like $100,000 to $200,000 a week, which is already, you know, I'm happy to pay it just because I know they need it, but that it doesn't make sense for that to be coming from me, and Blaine County can't afford to do even that, let alone increase their pay to like a legitimate, valuable amount. But something
Via
needs to
the
be figured
DLC.
out along those lines, because right now they're getting paid under living wages, and I can't change it unless they start somehow making money or getting money from the state or something. We also mentioned before about how, and the DOC mentioned it to me, that because, you know, the DOJ makes, what is it, 75% of the money from fines when people are sent to prison, some of that money should be going towards
Oh my God! Look
paying
inside my
DOC,
brain right now, chat.
because that's, you know, when people get fined, part of that is so that they can be sent to prison and have food and housing there, and DOC there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything.
Did they have like a proposal or something, or like something that like the justices could look at and we could vote on or anything like that? Like, of how much they'd need, or
Princess, if you've got an open line of communication with them, what you should
Yeah.
do, you should get them to reach out to us and come to
yeah,
us.
then that way we
I
can they
will.
can. Because I know recently we gave EMS money because they needed money to tie over something. I don't know. I abstained
Right.
on the vote. But
I think it's also like because Blaine County is paying them, it's more of a, because we had like, you know, before the DOC was made separate from the DOJ, Murray was giving Blaine County a weekly reimbursement for the DOC pay, and now it's just coming out of Blaine County pocket. So regardless of whether they want to be paid more or not, I am not happy with the fact that I'm paying them like at all. But I will continue to do it because I'm not going to just have them not get paid, obviously. Yeah, I'll let them know to reach out to you guys, and if something can be figured out, reimbursement-wise, that would be fantastic. And, you know, knowing DOC, if I do end up having to do it myself, I will. I'll send you guys some sort of something.
yeah, no worries. This makes sense. Right? We'd be glad to sit down and talk with them about it. It's kind of crazy. Why the fuck did we make 75% off? Fine, never mind.
I don't know. I know Nino was gonna. Nino and I were working on figuring out a way to change that stuff. I don't know how to proceed with that, but I do think that the fine situation needs to be sorted out. Even if it's like 25% goes to
Fuck!
DOC,
I got dragged into
25%
this.
goes to DOJ, 25%
Shit.
goes to the police department, and 25% goes to the mayor's office.
Yeah, I think the if I'm not mistaken, I think the conversation was I don't know about the 25-25. I think, you know, I'm definitely open to.
Well, yeah, I mean, it also doesn't make sense to give DOC money for the fines if I'm still paying them.
Yeah, it's so I imagine the state officials probably picked the 25%, 75%, with the 75% largely being a consequence of the DOJ account is a bit of a Who knows what they're
Michael.
thinking right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of things changing. I think the core, and correct me if I'm wrong there, Princess, is that our conversation was, if you look at fines as restitution, which is what they've always meant to be and was not meant to be a personal bank account that PD just uses to buy supercars and upgrades, that maybe the entire thing needs to be reevaluated. It was a bad idea, choice made 9 months ago. We should revert it back. That money should be going into the respective counties, and the police departments, whom we are already paying, come to us if they need extra budgetary money. Not only does it create dialogue, it requires accountability because they have to come and request it from the people, from the taxpayers, and that same money that's getting recuperated by law enforcement when they're stopping crime can be utilized in other activities like events or whatever it might be. I think in terms of us doing that, Princess, we just have to pass state legislation. The moment we pass that, we just got to wait for the feds to,
Okay.
I'll raise this as a concern. I'll raise this as a concern. My concern with the Department of Corrections getting a direct percentage cut of fines is they are currently legislated as LEOs that can press charges themselves in prison. There's a conflict of interest that's kind of gross.
Isn't there also that same conflict of interest with the police departments?
And also with the DOJ because we get incentivized.
I'm not saying there isn't. I'm not. Yeah, 100%. I'm not saying it isn't there. We need to be aware of it before we extend that out to other people too, right? Like just be aware and watch it.
Well, and I said that and immediately changed my mind on it because also I don't think DOC needs to be making money off of anything if I'm still paying them. I just need to I just need to be able to make money somehow so that I can pay them.
Yeah, I agree.
When you want to sit down with us and talk to us about it, like I'm down. Whenever.
Yeah. I mean, if we're able to do like, I don't even know, like 50-50 split, 50% to DOJ, 50% to the respective county, like that could work.
I'm
or 75-25. I just don't know how much money you guys need versus how much money we need.
I am more interested from the I don't think either of us pay. I think the DOJ pays until the feds come in.
What are they? Oh, they're paying the DOC. Yeah.
So it's a principle.
I just meant for the fine split.
Wait, the fine split?
I'm saying if the police find someone, like 50% of that
Princess,
going to the
do you
DOJ.
know how much it would cost for the Department of Corrections to be paid $3,500 a month? $3,500 an hour
I
for a
can do
month.
the math on that actually.
If you can figure that out for us and get us numbers, we can talk about it, right?
Yeah, there's an elephant in the room, right? That we have to keep in mind is that we have a director for the marshals that hopefully is going to be announced here soon. But then also the warden, right? They're both in that same bucket.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a unknown. Obviously, we have to figure out a short-term solution like we did with the marshals, but there is that long-term that tomorrow we might get a notice and here's the warden, here's the marshals, and there's the Senate's office, right?
Who knows?
And exactly. So any changes we do make should be considered of that so we don't legislate ourselves into a corner. I think as like a short term, in order to alleviate the PD budget concerns, Princess, you and I could just split the existing 25%, or just consume it. Up to you. I'm down to go either way, quite frankly.
What do you mean eat?
We just say that fines go to the respective counties.
Yeah,
right?
Honestly, that'd be great.
And then just go
It just
from
provides
there.
more checks and balances, right?
Exactly.
Go ahead for this bench trial.
I'd even go further, Princess. If you signed that and put it into your legislation, like you could get that in the next 3 days. You know what I mean?
What was that?
If you passed
saying
it,
you could legislate
even
it
just
so
in
that they
blame,
have to give you the-
no one in this room can stop you from doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then what would that mean? Would I just have to like
The sheriff would have to give you the money.
Yeah, he'd
And-
have to give you the
okay.
money. Yeah.
and then but then the DOJ would still that would be 50-50 or no, that would just be 25%.
No, you're just getting your 25%.
I don't think we can. I would be very uncomfortable touching those numbers because I'm very. How do I put this? I'm pretty sure the Fed set those percentages.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
what he's trying to say is that
Right.
like the DOJ inherently isn't supposed to be spending great sums of money like the mayor's office would.
Yeah.
So I think
Well,
the
well,
idea is that we're
wouldn't
just
that mean that we would get more of that money so that we could
incorrect.
actually
What he's trying to say is that the feds don't want like we're not supposed to be spending the money out of our account. It's just kind of supposed to sit there.
Well, I'm not. I wouldn't even go that far.
well then why do we have the administrative costs where it's like we're losing millions of dollars to just the shredder every week?
Well, I think that's in your fines, to be honest.
I don't think anyone in this
what's in our
room.
fines? No, there's just like the financial administrative fees every day, every hour.
I don't want to touch the
certain amount of money gets removed from our
75%
accounts. We lost
because I'm
$2
pretty
million
sure that
to
was a
month.
dev decision. You know what I mean? Which probably has some logic behind it. I don't,
I don't
want
think anyone has to be
If you
concerned
guys got
about
the fines directly.
would we get what back?
Like, would you don't think the fines? If you got the if you like Nino said, you legislate it so that the money for the fines goes to the Blaine County account,
Yeah.
and not the
the
BCSO
PD
account.
account. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You don't
Do
think that
you think it would like
cost?
cover that? No, it could, but I'm saying that I don't think we have to like modulate how much money we get because we're worried that that we will have too much money.
Wait, no. So the 75-25% that currently exists,
Mhm.
I'm suggesting that that's probably set by the feds for certain, right? In their magical, room in the FIB building. I would not be comfortable changing those numbers without some guidance because it's probably there to prevent the it's outside of my purview of understanding.
I could have afforded 2 jetpacks.
Yeah. Is that make do you see what I'm saying, Princess? Like-
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's still major gains to be had by just reallocating that 25, right? If that
Yeah.
25 goes to
Reallocate the
counties,
25, yo.
You would have a vastly
We're not-
different
I
financial
don't want to
experience than you have
legislate
right
a
now.
game balance on the economy.
Might not answer all
I
your
don't know why
questions,
they
but
got
answer some of them for you.
Yeah.
right?
I don't know.
Right. Okay, I'll have to talk to McNulty about it.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so we'll set up a meeting with the Department of Corrections. I don't know if the mayors want to be there for that too.
I feel like we
And then
would
we'll
get
have a
bitch slapped if we're like, yo, we
conversation
want more than
when
25%.
Elena gets us the numbers on the paychecks about what kind of reimbursements we can provide.
I've got you a kind of average.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I just took the amount of money that we're currently paying and divided it by the
Bro, they make
625.
chat. The amount of money that Blaine County is making is about the same amount my expenditure is. So it may seem like they don't have money because they keep looking at the $400,000 number.
an hour.
Our run rates are literally almost identical. We just happen to pay out
divided
more
by
events. That's it.
625.
The money
So
doesn't
that's
matter.
192
They only
hours.
need more money if they're looking
and
to
then
buy
times
random shit for
3,500.
themselves.
If we were paying them $3,500,
That's the crazy thing. Their run rate is not bad.
So, times 4 weeks would be.
I should just move the 400,000 somewhere and just show what I mean.
per month.
Because, think about it this way, right? This is effectively the situation. Okay. This is...
Can you get us those numbers so we can play with them? Because I'm going to be real, that might exceed our income.
Yeah. Well, and I don't think they need to be paid. I mean, BCSO is not even getting paid 3,500.
This is
we'll look at the numbers
LSMO.
and see what we can do.
This is Blaine County.
Sounds good.
Right? In terms of how much money is being made. But our run rates are this.
If any of you wish to watch, Falcon is currently doing a bench trial.
And this.
You have one more
Super
thing.
excited to not be there. for
What's
that.
up?
So all this access.
I want to rewrite something in the Constitution for Sama
Ooh.
because it says Los Santos Medical Group,
Mm-hmm.
and technically, right now, we're now San Andreas Medical Group. So, in other words, somebody could come along and go, "I'm part of the Los Santos Medical Group," and it's in the Constitution. So, yeah.
Wait, what's going on?
So in the Constitution, it is written as for SAMA, it says Los Santos Medical Group. That was written, I think, like a month before we became renamed as the
A
San
medical
Andreas.
professional is defined as a doctor working for the Los Santos Medical Group.
Yep.
Okay.
And we became renamed to the San Andreas Medical Group because we're both counties.
Yeah.
We're not just specifically to Los Santos County.
Oh.
Yeah. So there is that one little bit.
And by definition of Los Santos County shall have legislative authority over governance public services. You know what? I think Perry, you and I might need to start working together a little bit closer.
Are you just gonna knock me out of the picture?
Well, I don't listen. That's what the
Lake County
Constitution
doesn't
says.
have
I mean, the Constitution just say Los Santos. I'm just like...
Listen, we got to pull
Yeah,
all
and the Blaine
EMS
County
out of
Sheriff's
Blaine
Office
County.
has the Los Santos County flag flying on it.
Okay.
Okay,
If
that is
somebody
Oh,
writes something
shit.
up,
Hang
somebody.
on a second. LSMG does not cover EMS. LSMG is the doctors. They're separate, and I don't know why I feel so strong about it.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. So they're under SAMA,
EMS
but they're not
is
under LSMG.
Yeah, EMS is their own entity, but they're underneath the SAMA umbrella. So I oversee the legislation for that.
So,
Not that I feel so strongly about that in any way, shape, or
can
form.
somebody here take it upon themselves to write up a constitutional amendment? And then I think if we all vote on it and then we put it forward to the state to check its constitutionality, I imagine that one won't be too. That one's not as spicy
We
as
can't
it
check
could
the
be, right?
constitutionality of a
Guess what,
constitutional
Grayson?
amendment.
Guess what,
But I think that's what the state will be doing, not us, right?
Yeah.
I may have already done it.
Oh, okay. Head of stuff.
See, I'm always one step ahead. But yeah.
Okay.
Downstairs because this man just pulled the. I mean, you don't have to go to my bench trial, but it is the 1 month anniversary of us dating bullshit. So I have to.
Oh
go
my
god!
Wait, is this a date?
Christ.
Is he making the bench trial your date?
Low effort date is crazy
making
work.
fun of me because he doesn't remember. He didn't remember my middle name, I think it was, and then I was making fun of him for that, and then he pulled the. Well, do you know what day we got together on? And I went, shut up.
To get back to what we were talking about previously, this is one of those bench trials where PD requested an extra hour to get you ready. So they waited an hour before they've come here, so it might be interesting.
Yeah.
Perfect. Also, Carmine's defending Flippy, so I want to watch anyway.
I assume we're pretty good here.
Yeah, seems like it.
Right.
Grayson, last thing,
Mm.
the idea that you had the constitutional amendment for property rights caveat.
Yes, the right thing, yeah.
Yeah, is that something that you are still working on, or is that something that I can like draft up?
Same time next week then?
Okay.
Yeah.
See you guys next
Oh,
week.
That sounds great.
hell yeah.
Oh, God.
We should have Sean. We should look into setting up a meeting with us plus
just gonna say
marshals
that
and shit. I would just send out an email, to be honest.
I don't know if I can ask them. Maybe we could do it like every other Monday. Is the
I
like the
think it should be
heads
Friday or something. Yeah, same day. We're gonna be cooked.
I mean, we could do it in opposition because we're gonna have judiciary meetings every other Friday.
Oh,
So not this Friday, but next Friday. So
Tuesdays?
we could do it in opposition. No, so we could do it in opposition to that. So every other Friday, and so it'd be like if we had the first one, it would be this Friday.
Oh, yeah. That'd be great.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
I'm down for that, honestly.
Okay. Yeah, I love it.
This Friday,
I'm down.
Grayson.
Oh yeah.
Let's do it at the same time as this one, so that it's
Are
for
y'all
everybody.
Are y'all opposed to Signy's gonna be helping me with doing county polls, and I want to use our ballot system.
Oh,
which,
just please let me know.
Easy.
Any of us are around, we'll set it up easy.
Perfect.
Okay. Awesome.
Are the ballots, do they work in a way where you can just kind of take a box, or are there other options for like giving a a score or something for stuff, just
no,
so I know.
think you just choose a box, and you can
Tick a
either
box.
choose. You can make it so they can only choose one or all, like multiple.
Okay, okay, all right.
The infographics that come out from them as well aren't from us internally. They get done
Can you-
externally by somebody else.
Okay, good to know.
Can you, Ziny, can you try typing that on the slip of paper onto your phone? Does anything pop up?
And nope.
Okay.
Do mayors get access to that? Do you know?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, I wasn't aware.
What does that do?
How do you think I won all the elections?
That gives us access to the ballots, but also it provides our access to the state computer system for subpoenas. You know, bank records, phones, all those things.
So that's why you're the 4-time, huh?
Yeah,
Nino?
once you win, you can't lose.
Oh,
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Just on ballots.
Well, actually,
game's the game.
All right, easy.
Nino,
right,
I have
easy.
like a million one things to talk to you about.
Yes, let's go to this bench trial and let me decompress just a little bit because there's been so much drama. You have no idea. It's been fucking crazy. It's like non-fucking stop. Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's like I woke up yesterday. There's like two gangs broke up. Motherfuckers are stealing people. Like with ADMC, these motherfuckers in ADMC, right? They fucking heisted. They got mad because they wouldn't get rid of someone named Barry, the guy at the top. And so like a handful of people masked up and stole all their shit. And one of those people was in Hades, so Hades broke in half.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
God, my phone never stops ringing. This is ridiculous.
all right. I mean, I'm gonna just go see how this is. I'm just gonna like get caffeinate, and then I'm down to chat. Yep.
So like me going there when they don't have the resources is
All right.
Wait, how much? Hey, listen.
Okay, 4 days. Cool.
Okay, here's what you gotta work out.
I'll be mad if Rory
Is he on the
O'Banion
same
shows
radio
up
as
around
them?
here, though.
Not the rest of them, no. Only one of them.